In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
That's what I'd like. So, hello, ladies. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us.
That's all right. So basically, Lynnsey, you're in Furness, is that right?
Yeah, Barrow in Furness.
Barrow. And Toni, you're in Australia, but whereabouts in Australia are you?
So I'm in Geelong, just an hour outside of Melbourne.
Right, okay. So you had your surgery in Australia, did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And did you have it near you?
Yeah, well, I actually had it in Geelong. So my surgeon, he's from Melbourne.
Right.
So when I connected with him, it was the end of February, and we had still had an ban on elective surgeries here in Victoria because of COVID.
Yes.
So as soon as the ban from elective surgeries was lifted, his rooms phoned me, and they gave me a call and got me in for an appointment. And he could either do the surgery in Melbourne or actually in Geelong, in the private hospital in Geelong. Right. And it was you were actually able to get in sooner in Geelong because we're classed as regional. Okay. And he got more beds open to him regionally than he did in Metro because COVID was still pretty bad in Melbourne.
Okay. Now, how does it work in Australia to get is it through insurance? Is it privately?
Yeah, so you've got to have, you can pay for it privately. I mean, that's fine, and you'd be out of pocket for all the expenses. For us, we have private health insurance, and your private health insurance comes in different ranges. So you need to make sure you've got the right coverage of private health insurance. Okay. So, and you have to have private health insurance for 12 months before you can make any claims. I've had private health insurance for years since I moved out to Australia.
Right.
So I had the right coverage. So I was able to go in as a private patient and then get reimbursed through my private health insurance. But we also have a scheme here in Australia called Medicare. And you can also, and so that's funded through our taxes, and you can actually claim money back through Medicare as well.
Right. Okay. Well, that's interesting. And then, Lynnsey, how did you do yours? Did you do it on the NHS or did you go privately?
No, so I went through a company called Healthier Weight. So I rang them. And...
Oh, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, in London, though. I went to London, Dr. Loy.
Oh, right. The company themselves, they were great. I had a chat with them. Within a week, I had a consultation with the surgeon that was going to do it in Manchester. But then... that got flipped around. The managing director of Healthier Weight said, because I've got cardiac history, I need to be somewhere with ICU, and that wasn't available in the Manchester hospital. So I went to Birmingham, and I've paid for it all out of my own pocket. No insurance. Yeah, privately.
Yeah. So with the cardiac, tell me about the cardiac side of it.
So I was 29 weeks pregnant with my now 12-year-old, and I had a cardiac arrest. My now husband, he did CPR, and he brought me back. And I've had a pacemaker, I've got a hole in the heart, and I've got heart disease as well. So yeah, quite a bit, but it was fine.
Just a few things going on.
Just a few.
It totally behaved. Didn't need to go to ICU.
Good. Oh, thank God.
That's why I had to travel. To
Birmingham. Yeah. And so did you have any complications? Obviously you didn't have any with the heart, thank goodness. But did you have any other complications?
No, nothing. Up and about 2 hours post-op. Struggled to drink initially, but then I got told off by my surgeon, and then I started drinking, and I felt a lot better. So yeah, no complications. It's been a
Yeah, thankfully. And what about you, Toni? Did you have any complications or anything, or were you plain sailing as well?
Well, yes. I thought I was going to be plain sailing. I had actually told people, because I've actually not disclosed to anybody other than some very close people that have had weight loss surgery, which I know is bizarre because we've got the TikTok, and I'm just waiting for somebody to discover. But so I told a little white lie.
How would you feel if they discovered?
I've started to scenario plan because I do think it's getting close to people discovering. So for me, I haven't joined any of the social support groups on social media here in Victoria or Australia, because I do know 2 ladies from my gym who
and you got me
have
now.
had weight. Yeah. But I do know 2 ladies from my gym who's had weight loss surgery and are very active within those circles. So I haven't chosen to, I just didn't want to. That was just a decision I made. So I told my husband, obviously my husband, my sister and my 2 daughters. I've got 2 older daughters that they're aware. So to think about how I was going into surgery, I'd actually said to people, oh, I've got a small hernia, so I'm going in to get a hernia repair. And then what happened was, when I'd gone in for surgery, I actually had a significant hiatus hernia that they discovered while they were doing the sleeve. So we had that repaired. He did an amazing job, had that repaired. But it meant that the surgery took 5 hours instead of the 30 minutes that was originally thought it was going to take. So apart from that, no complications, nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what both surgery did you have, you girls?
So I had the virtual sleeve and the hiatus hernia repair.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had,
Lynnsey?
Yeah, I just had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, no other. But I do have a hiatus hernia, but he left it alone.
Did he? So what will you do about that now?
Hey, say that again.
What will you do about the hiatus hernia now?
It's only leave it. I was on omeprazole tummy protector before, which had stopped 4 weeks prior to this surgery, so I'll just be on that for life. So
yeah, it's like me. Yeah. Fair enough. So now, what was your highest weight, Toni?
So my highest weight was a number of years ago. So it was a number of years ago, and I got up to 97 kilos, but then I lost weight. So I lost, it took me, I actually lost weight to be in Lynnsey's wedding because Lynnsey was getting married. Yeah. So I lost weight and I got down to 69. And then over these past years since that wedding, and then obviously COVID, the weight was starting to creep back in. And by the time I called Adam, the surgeon, I was 88 kilos. And so my GP wasn't even sure whether or not I would be eligible for the sleeve. Definitely wasn't eligible for the sleeve under health. So I would have had to pay privately. And she honestly thought I would struggle to get a surgeon to do it, given the weight. But what Adam did, he went from the highest weight. He said, because that's where you would end up back if we didn't do something now. So he said, it's actually more ideal to do it now before you get there.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, absolutely. And what about you, Lynnsey?
So I've always been big, and then I'd lose weight and then I'd be big again. I think I lost 6 stone twice and then put it back on. At the start of this, I was 16 stone 3, which is 103 kilos, and in 6 weeks I'm down to 14 stone 8.
Hey, well done.
I know. So I think highest weight I've reached is 17 stones. But yeah, just going from this surgery, it was 16. So yeah, huge.
Oh, that's good. Huge. And is it in the family, overweight, or is it just literally individually, it just happened to be?
I think it is.
You both put on weight over the years.
Yeah, I think the 4 of us have battled, haven't we?
We have. I don't think it's intriguing, isn't it? When I think back to my childhood, Mum was always on a diet, and Mum was always watching her weight and going to Weight Watchers. And I think it's just something that you learn over the time.
Maybe.
Yeah, and we've all battled. We've all gone up and gone down, and we've got there's 4 of us, 4 girls.
Okay.
Yeah. And
girls.
there's something there. There's something emotionally about it all, I think, that no doubt we'll unpack at one point.
Yeah. And do you feel the same, Lynnsey?
Yeah, definitely. When you look back, one of us was always on it. Yeah, and then the other one would look great, and then it was just a
round and round vicious circle sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so the pair of you have had your surgery. When did you have your surgery? When did you have your sleeves, pair of you?
So I had mine on the 22nd of March.
22nd of March, did you say? Because you broke up. Sorry, darling.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes, 22nd of March.
And I was.
And Lynnsey, you had yours February?
No, 26th of April. I had mine.
Okay.
So only more or less a month after.
So why did you decide? Was it together your decision that you would do it together, or it just happened by accident, or tell me?
No, I mean, I was saying to Toni about that. I wanted to do it, but then I stepped away from it, and then Toni rang me saying she was going in for the hernia repair. And then I rang Toni again a couple of weeks later, said, I've done something stupid. I've booked a sleeve. And she said, well, do you want to know the hernia is not a hernia, it's for a sleeve. So we didn't know.
Funny. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. And do you know what? You will be so surprised as you go along, Toni. If you do speak to people, the amount of people that you speak to that have had weight loss surgery, because I'm a photographer, and I had probably about 5 photo shoots. Out of those 5 photo shoots, 2 ladies had surgery.
Right.
So
yeah.
2 of 5. Do you know what I mean? And there was a couple. So one of them was a couple. So the husband had it with the wife.
Right.
So they
Okay.
both had it together. So very interesting how, in actual fact, the more people we say it to, they actually come out and say, "Oh, I've had it as well." You'd be surprised.
Yeah. I just have to
that's fine. Yeah.
I just have to do the first one, I think. And then I'll be fine from there. I'm absolutely, people, I think I've surrounded myself with the right people. So I'm not having people saying to me, oh my goodness, what have you done? I've got my friends and people who I'm close to are going, oh my God, you look amazing. And so they're not poking, they're not prodding, and they're my people, they're really good. They're really
supportive
kind.
and just lovely.
Yeah.
So how much have you lost since your surgery, Toni?
So I am down to 75 kilos. So it's about 12 kilos I've lost. Yeah.
Great. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're both really starting to be on par with each other.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah. How fabulous.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit to go, but it's way down.
What do you want to get down to then, Lynnsey?
I think about 11 stone for me, for my height build. Any lower than that, I think I'd look not very
well. How tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
Right. Okay. So that's good weight, because I'm 5'4" and I want to get down to 10 stone.
Yeah.
If I get down to 11 or 12, I'll be really happy.
Me too. I always get to a point where people start to say, you look amazing, and then I'll stop, and then I'll go back up to where I was. I never get past that point, and I'm looking forward to getting past that point.
Yeah. And do you feel you're getting to that point? Do you feel that it's going to happen? Do you feel, or are you a bit nervous that it's not going to happen? Because obviously it keeps going up and down. What do you feel?
I think it will happen, but my weight's coming off slowly.
It will.
I just think I'm still healing. So
yeah, you are.
I think it definitely, because I've got my restriction. I don't have to eat a lot, and I'm full.
Exactly.
So I will get that.
Yeah, of course you will. And as you say, you are still healing. The first 3 months, really, you're
Yeah.
still healing. So you're doing extremely well with what you're doing now, you know? So
Yeah.
you'll get there. Absolutely get there. Yeah. And then
Yay.
do you feel the same, Tony? Do you feel like positive? I'm going to get there. It's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
I remember sitting with the surgeon, Adam, and he was saying to me, he was the nicest person, and he was saying to me, "You're gonna get skinny. You're just gonna get skinny." And I says, "I don't want to be skinny. I want to look fit."
Yes.
And I can remember thinking in my mind, I just want to get to 76 kilos. That's it.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
me. I want to get to 76 kilos, because for me that was the last time where I felt I was in control of everything. I was in control of my eating. I was in control of how I was presenting myself. And I said that to him, and he said, "Oh, you're going to get down. You're going to get further down than 76 kilos." So now I'm 75. So I've met where I want to be.
Yeah.
So he thinks, my surgeon thinks, I'll probably land at about 69 kilos. So I'll go lower, but then go back up to about 69 kilos.
Yeah. And honestly, it's so easy to maintain, because I maintained for a whole year. I've lost 11 stone, but I've got I've got another 6 stone to go. But I maintained for a whole year, because I don't know why. I wasn't mentally right again. So, and you have to be mentally right. So I maintained for a year, and all it was adding more carbs in. And then still having your protein, because obviously you need that, but it was adding in the proteins, and then with your protein, and I maintained like that. So it can be quite easy if you stick to your protein and a little bit more of carbs. It can be so you should be fine. Absolutely. So how do you feel, girls, mentally? Were you mentally fine, and do you get like dysmorphia or anything mentally regarding the surgery? I'll go with Tony first.
So I mean, leading up to it, I was convinced I was going to die.
Honey.
I was convinced I was going to die in the surgery. So I actually said to both Lynnsey and my husband Paul, I was like, if I die in the surgery, do not tell anybody what surgery I was having. So I was really anxious and nervous and worried about that. And I was sitting in where you get your pre-surgery, and I'm sitting there crying, and the nurses were so beautiful, and nobody could come in with me because of COVID. So I'm sitting there getting everything ready, and I'm crying and sobbing. And then afterwards, I think I had a couple of days where I was just really sad. I was just really, really sad, and I was really hard on myself, because I was like, look what you've done. You have done this. You're a grown-ass woman, and look what you've had to put yourself through to get yourself under control. And I was a regular gym. I go to the gym all the time. I love the gym. Gym's good for my mental health. So I wasn't going to the gym because obviously you couldn't after the surgery. You weren't allowed to. And that was impacting me. So once I hit 4 weeks, I got the clearance to go back and do minimal stuff at the gym, because I felt really, really deflated about the fact that I wasn't there. And I've also got
you beating yourself up.
Yeah, I was. It was really hard. So when I went back to the gym and started going back into my routine and starting connecting with people, my tribe, that really cheered me up and made me feel a lot better. In regard to body dysmorphia, I wondered whether or not there is that in reverse, because I used to, before surgery, I could look at myself in the mirror and go, oh no, I look okay. And then I look at mirrors.
How mad
I
is
look in photographs, and in photographs I look horrendous. And I'm like,
Tony, I get it. I was the same. Absolutely the same. And I was 27 stone, honey. And I was literally going, yeah, I'm all right. I feel good. I'm thin. Because mentally I was, because I was thin before. So of
Yeah.
course, where I had medications, I was putting weight on, putting weight on, putting weight on. So mentally, I was still thin. But it was
Yeah.
only like you until you saw yourself a reflection or photos that you'd go, oh, no, that's
Hang on
not
a
good.
second.
That's not good. But now it's like, oh, I feel sometimes I'm like, oh no, oh, look at that reflection. Oh, I'm still big, you know, because again, now it's like I've seen myself at 27 stone and now like this, I now want to get to the rest of it. So I'm now like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
still big. I'm still big. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really weird. The big one though, where you think you're thin.
Yes.
Yeah. And then how about you, Lynnsey? How have you found it all mentally?
So my mental health with my weight, I've done it all. I've done eating disorders. I've done, I joined every slimming group because I've always never been where I need to be. Tried the go, and then finally I said to my hubby, "So I'm going to have a sleeve." He's like, "No, you're not." I was like, "I am. I'm going to do it." He's like, "No, you're not." Anyway, I booked it. I booked it, and he's great. He totally supports me. Body dysmorphia, so I've lost 22 pounds. I can't see it. Cannot see it. But
You
obviously,
will.
my uniform is now a medium uniform. I'm not in the large anymore. So, yeah,
Whoop, whoop.
things like that are happening, but I just need to see it because that's
Yeah.
the problem. I
But
feel
at least you know it's coming off because of your uniform. Do you
yeah.
weigh? Do you weigh a lot?
Well,
Not
every
weigh
day.
yourself.
I week.
No, stop it,
I'm
ladies.
every morning, every
No,
single morning.
you can't. And I'll tell you why. Your hormones for a lady is going up and down each
I
day.
know.
So if you do it once a week, minimal. I
I
mean,
do.
people do it once a month, but if you do it once a week on a Saturday morning, it would be much better because you'll like see the difference rather than going up and down and thinking, oh no, I've put on a pound. Oh no, I've lost a pound. Yeah, you know, because it does
Yeah.
do that in the week. Have you found that?
Yeah, oh yeah, every morning, and then I'll
It's
go
different.
for a poo, and I come back and I weigh myself, and unless it's like, and I never
I love
for the past few years, I was like, I'm not stepping on scales,
that.
and I didn't hold myself account. So I think I think it's an accountability for me at the moment. So I absolutely know, 100% I know that I should not be weighing myself every single day. I cannot stop it. And if that's what I need to do at this moment in time, that's what I need to do.
Yeah, then do
but
it.
I'm really lucky with my gym. We have the Evolt scans, so we can do the whole body fat percentage, muscle weight, fat percentage. So I've got that from different stages, and I've got it from just before I had the operation, 2 weeks afterwards, and I've just done it again now. So when I look at, I'm going to use that weight as the overall weight of the loss, and what I weigh each morning is regardless. Because my mission now is to regain muscle mass. So I stayed my muscle mass the same, but I have lost a percentage in muscle mass these past 4 weeks.
Great. That's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah, I'd like to know that actually.
Yeah.
The body mass and because where I was 27 stone, I was in a wheelchair for about 10 years because I just couldn't move around at all. And I saw other big people and I thought, well, how can they move around? I just can't. I lived in a recliner. I couldn't get up the stairs. I was washing in the kitchen, you know, with my husband washing me down, completely disabled. And so now I've got to build up the muscle by going to a gym because I have no muscle at all. It's really difficult to move around for long periods of time because I've got no muscles, where I've been in wheelchairs and sitting in chairs for the whole time.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah, got to build it up.
So these scans are great. It takes you, it's just very simple. It's like a 30-second thing, and it gives you a breakdown of everything: your body, your water percentage, your muscle mass, your fat mass, and your visible. I can't say it. What's the word, Lynn? Lynn would know. The visible fat. What's the fat around your tummy, around your organs?
Visceral.
Visceral.
That's it, the visceral fat. So it tells you how much visceral fat you've got as well.
Now, talking about water, ladies, and I see Lynnsey sipping. Yeah, good girl. How are we getting on then, Toni, with your water?
Yeah, good. So I drink a litre throughout the day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fab.
and I put tasteless protein in.
Yeah,
And I also drink a coffee in the morning
yeah,
and maybe coffee mid-afternoon. So from a liquid perspective, I'm fine.
you're fine.
And I do
Yeah.
drink out of a straw. So my dietitian told me not to drink out of a straw. And then when I was trying to drink after the operation, I just wasn't enjoying it. And it wasn't until I started to drink it out of a straw that I was able to
My
just
friend
drink
in
plain
America,
water.
yeah, my friend in America couldn't do water without a straw. She had
Yeah.
to do it with a straw. And
Yeah.
that's the way she gets it in. That's the way she gets it in.
Yeah, I'm the same. Once I
Yeah.
moved back to my usual water bottle with the straw, I was totally fine. And just plain
good.
water.
Yeah, good. And Lynnsey, you're obviously getting yours in.
Yeah,
Or are you?
Work, because I'm in clinic this afternoon. I won't drink. Some days I do ward work and I just won't drink. I won't wee. But I try my best. I love my cups of tea. So I've had a couple of cups of tea. I'm ploughing through that water. And yeah, I am mindful of it because I know I get dehydrated because my mouth goes really dry.
Dry.
Yeah, and I'm trying to talk to patients and my lips are sticking together and I'm like, I need a drink. But yeah.
Yeah.
I need to improve on it, but yeah, I just don't like water. I'm gonna have to put a bit of juice in it or something.
Yeah, that's what I did. Bit of juice.
Yeah.
Tiny bit of Ribena, tiny bit of orange, not too much, but it just gave it that flavour. But I actually loved water until about 9 months ago, and now I have to have something sweet in it. Such a shame.
Okay.
Such a shame. What happened was I was taking my tablets, my vitamins and things like that, my morning tablets, and one got stuck and I had no water left. So then I took a sip of my husband's Diet Coke and then I said to him, "Oh, can I have another sip?" And then it was doing that all through the evening. And then eventually I was like, "Oh, glug, glug, glug." And that was it, back to Diet Coke. So that was fizzy, trying to get off that. My surgeon said literally, or another surgeon said, do it slowly. You can't go cold turkey straight away. So do it slowly. So that's what I'm doing. So that's why I've gone then on to the juice.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a little bit of juice to give it some flavour. And then hopefully I'll be able to come off all that together and go back to the water. But I drink water with my tablets, so I don't know why I can't drink it all the other times. It's ridiculous. Absolutely mental thing, I expect.
It's mental.
Yeah. So how did you prepare for the operations? Did you have the liver shrinking diet?
Yeah.
Oh, you're both laughing. How did you do?
I only had a
Yeah.
for a week. And these patients that do it for months, I'm like, how?
I had a week. I had a month. 1 month over Christmas.
Struggled.
Over Christmas.
Yeah. Oh God, over Christmas. Yeah, it was all right. I stayed. I did I think it was 800 calories a day.
Good.
So.
Yeah. Was it shakes or food?
Food, but I found the shakes probably would have been better because the amount of food you can have for 800 calories is not a lot.
Yeah.
But it actually made things like fruit or the cereals that I was eating, and I was thinking, oh my God, how many calories are in this? And I have a big bowl normally, so it's sort of like my brain a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And also you've got to prepare for afterwards, of course.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
So Toni, how did you get on?
So I think I might have struck gold with my surgeon because he said, do not lose any weight. I could do surgery on you tomorrow. Do not lose any more weight.
Did he? Oh
so
my
I
goodness,
didn't really. I did. And he was like, I could take you in tomorrow and I could do surgery tomorrow on you. So lose any weight. All I did was I actually stopped drinking alcohol a couple of weeks before, so I didn't have any alcohol. I did naturally lose weight because I was stressing so much. So I did try and clean, but I didn't do. I don't know how people do that before the surgery.
I did 4 weeks
admire people who
4
do it
shakes a day. 4 shakes a day I did. And sometimes I'd do 3 if I was feeling it, if I was okay and full. But I found after a week you're used to it. So you just sort of get on with it after about a week. You're just used to it. So how long were you on yours, Lynnsey?
So full admiration.
Yeah, me too. Just a week with me. I think the night before surgery, because we stayed in a hotel in Birmingham because I had a 7 o'clock admission. My hubby drove me. So we were checking in and there was a bar. I said, you know what, I'm going to get a glass of wine. So the night before I had a glass of Pinot up in the hotel.
Oh, well, you've got to,
and I was the same,
you've got to do that.
I was the same. The day before my surgery, Adam gave me a ring because I had my pre-op appointment with the nurse and I was stressing out because I'd lost weight. He told me don't lose any more weight, but I had actually lost a couple of kilos through all the stress. So I was stressing out with the nurse saying, what if I get there and he says I've lost too much weight and he won't do the surgery? So he phoned me up the night before and he was like, get yourself out, go for a steak, just relax, we're doing the surgery.
So you went for a steak?
No, I didn't, because you're not allowed to because of COVID. You've got to be isolated.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
well,
so
I was allowed anything
really
at all.
My surgeon.
Yeah, that was really good. He sounded brilliant. Yeah,
he's good fun.
Yeah. Well, because I went privately, and so in the room they said to me, you can have anything on the menu. And so I went for a prawn cocktail. I just really fancied a prawn cocktail, but I could have had burgers and everything. And I just went, oh, a prawn cocktail, please. That's just what I fancied. I hadn't had one in so long, but it was great. Yeah. Beautiful. So now, do you get head hunger? Do you get that sort of like overwhelming? And if you do, how do you cope with it, Toni?
I just feel empty. So it's not hunger, and it's hard to describe. And I had a dietitian appointment today. So I'm a very boring person, and I eat the same thing Monday to Friday. So when I'm at work, I'm very structured and I have the same thing and I eat it at the same time. So I never get to a space where I feel hungry. But at the weekends, it can be 11 o'clock or 11:30 and I haven't ate anything and I feel empty. So it's just this really hollow feeling. And then I start to panic and I start to think, I've got to have something to eat. I need to eat something. Yeah, so I haven't got head hunger, but I'm probably, it's the weekend for me where I just leave it too long and I'm just not mindful around what I'm eating.
Is that because you're with family and you're going out and you're doing things?
I get up, take the dogs for a walk, go and get a coffee, walk to the end of the street and get a coffee. And my husband, he doesn't eat breakfast. So I haven't got somebody there that's eating breakfast. So it's and then time just gets away from me, and it's because you're not like searching
in
for
your
food.
routine at work.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that can be it. And what about you, Lynnsey? How do you find it all with the head hunger, and how do you cope with it if you do?
I don't get head hunger. I have to remind myself to eat because, like Toni said, you just don't get hungry, do you? And sometimes I'll go and I'll be like, oh, I haven't had anything yet. So I'll grab something. But I watched Toni's TikTok from yesterday with the wrap and the ham. So I've got a cheese and ham wrap for lunch today.
Fantastic.
So I made that for my lunch and I've just brought snacky bits.
Good. But I suppose you get carried away you're going into surgery, aren't you, with people? So as you're seeing people, you can't sort of munch on a great big wrap.
No, so a gynae oncology nurse specialist, so you know I do a lot of clinics. So it keeps me away. Lots of goodies in the hospital. You know, there's always cakes, there's always chocolates, there's always sweets. And now, whereas before I'd dive straight for it, now I don't even want it. I've not eaten it.
That's good.
Missing it, you know. So it's weird. It's messed with my brain.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
We always have sweets and chocolate at work, but I'm not reaching for it. I'm just not interested in it.
Good, great. And how do you cope? You both do the 30 minutes before and after?
Yes.
Good.
30 minutes after for sure.
Yeah.
Before,
do you struggle with before?
Yeah, I forget.
It's hard, isn't it, to remember?
Yeah, but definitely because
at the beginning.
I feel it. Yeah, I feel the pain of it afterwards. So I always do the 30 minutes afterwards, but not before.
Yeah. No.
Are you the same, Lynnsey?
Yeah, so I was trimming my 30 minutes to 20 minutes, but now I'm back at 30 minutes. But yeah, before so I'll have like a cup of tea and then I'll go and get my tea, and it's like, oh, I've drank a cup. That's bug me when I'm out with my husband for a meal. I just don't know how I'm going to do that, you know. So
you'll get used to it, because I say to the family, right, I'm going to have a Diet Coke. All of you have a beer, have your drinks, because all of you are not allowed to eat for half an hour. So that's what they do. Yeah, they get told.
Yeah. So yeah, and then it's afterwards, isn't it? So if you've got a glass of wine, and you know you can't do it together.
You have to wait. Yeah.
I've done it yet, but yeah, I know it'll come.
Yeah, it will come. It really will come as well. Yeah. And then sort of lastly, what are your NSVs, sort of like your non-scale victories that you've had so far?
Mine's
sort of like things that you've met and you thought, oh God, I can cross my legs, I can reach my toes, because that was all my sort of things, like, oh, I can cross my legs, oh, I can reach my feet, oh, I can put my shoes on or socks.
I think
that sort of thing.
Having surgery reminds my uniform, because squeezing out of the large, and now I've got the medium on, and there's room in the medium now. So yeah, that's my NSV, the only one I've had.
Great. What about you, Toni? Have you had any?
Yes, I've had a few, but I think the biggest one is I can run 5Ks.
That is fantastic. And you would never have been able to do that before?
I did before when I lost my weight the last time. I did, but I slowly have lost that, but I'm back to it.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Well, the other thing I'd like to ask from both of you lastly, is there anything that you would advise somebody new coming into the surgery that you would, either before the surgery that you didn't know or after the surgery you didn't know, anything that you would advise somebody else that's coming into the surgery?
Yeah.
I drink plenty. Get up and walk for the gas, to get rid of the gas. Don't stay in bed, and just keep yourself hydrated, because I didn't, and I felt really rotten. Yeah, that's
Did they have to put you back on a drip, or were you good enough to start drinking again?
I had the drip overnight on the first night, and then she took it down. Didn't pass urine for about 24 hours. Finally managed to have a wee. And then I was sipping because I didn't like how it felt. And then the surgeon came in and he said, how much have you had today? And I said 500 mils. He says, well, you ain't going home tomorrow if you're not going to drink 1,600 mils.
God.
You are staying. And that really upset me, because I was going home. So I probably spent most of the night drinking, to be fair. Didn't sleep a lot. And then I was
telling her, pour it down the sink.
Let me go home.
You're naughty, Toni.
I did pour a glass down, but
did you? Quick, shush, because your surgeon could be listening.
No, but he said
he'll have you
back in. He'll have you back in.
So I drank, and I drank, and so that's my advice.
And you got out. Yeah. And what about you, Toni? What would you advise somebody?
So I think my advice, I mean, there's some really great practical advice out there, and obviously what Lynnsey's recommended. But I think my advice is just be kind to yourself. Just be speak to yourself as you would speak to other people. So through that process, I said some unkind things to myself, and I didn't give myself any self-love. So if you wouldn't say that to somebody else, don't say it to yourself. Everybody's journey is different, so nobody's journey is the same. When me and Lynnsey are speaking to each other, we're sisters.
Completely different. You could be twins and be different. You could be twins.
Yeah, and we've had a very different journey. And just be, you're going to get sad that day. And I said this to Lynnsey when she was in the hospital. I was like, tomorrow you're going to be really sad, because I think, people do get sad on that second day or third day, because you do start questioning things.
It's the anaesthetic as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
The anaesthetic's wearing off. It's, you've got the anaesthetic, it's wearing off, and then you're thinking, I can't have that food, and what do I do?
Yeah.
Panic.
But be prepared for that. And then when you're there, just be kind to yourself. And everybody, you're lovely. You're doing this for the right reasons. You're looking for the future. So, And people are brave. You're brave when you're going through something like this.
Yeah.
It's not, you often hear people say it's the easy way out. It's not the easy way out.
No, definitely not.
No, we've got too much to do. They don't understand, do they? Yeah, we've got too much to do. Oh, well, that's lovely advice then, ladies. That's fantastic. I really appreciate you both coming on, and it was lovely to have the both of your different perspectives. Do you know what I mean? It was lovely to have you both there, and lovely to see you both in different countries. It's amazing, isn't it, that we can do that now?
Funny.
Yeah.
We can't wait. I'm going home in August.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait to give her a big hug. That's going to be brilliant.
And you'll be able to go right round now.
I know. We'll look sort of feel different, won't we? Well,
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Can you imagine it by August, how much you're going to lose?
Yeah.
The pair of you. You're going to be little skinny minis.
We've got a family party in August, and like the family don't know. We're going to turn up and they're going to like, who are they?
I've had that. I've had people not recognise me. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Well, look, we're going to enter the interview. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. But keep on, ladies, because I'll have a quick chat with you before you go. So don't dash off.
Okay.
I'm going to end the recording. Okay.
Bye.
Disclaimer: I am not medically trained, but I am here to be a support system for you on your journey. If you have any medical concerns, please seek professional help immediately. Together,